Hi everyone, welcome, and we're so glad you could join us today. My name is Bree Makombe, and I am here with our guests Teo Makombe, Zachary Sportsman, and Prince Nhango. And we are here just to discuss what we see God doing and what we feel like God is doing in Rwanda and around the world. Because in these times, a lot of people want to talk about what's going wrong, and we really just want to give hope and bring our focus back to what is eternal and what is lasting. So thank you guys. Welcome. We just have a list of questions we want to address, and we're going to bounce it around and see what comes up. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit? You can do it American style, Rwandan style, any way you want to introduce yourself. So we'll start with Prince Isaac Ntango.
Thank you for welcoming me. As you just said, my name's Nhango. Been in missions for about 17 years now, and I've been serving the Lord, and I'm happy to be in this panel. Thank you.
So the one thing that Prince hasn't said that I would like to add, just for his credibility, is he says he's been in missions for, we forgot, 17 years.
Yes.
What a unique perspective he has is although he's been in Rwanda for the majority of that time, he has been able to receive people from how many different countries would you guess?
I can count.
20, 30, many different
50, yeah,
countries.
yeah.
And not only just to meet these people, but to get to know them and do ministry with him. And so even though most of his ministry has been here in Rwanda, really he has a global perspective because he's been able to seek God and find out just really the global climate from being just here in Rwanda. Zach, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Zach Sportsman. I'm a missionary with the United Pentecostal Church. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here in Rwanda, just a servant of the Lord, and just appreciative for the opportunity to be here with some friends that we appreciate very much.
Good. Welcome, Zach. And so you've been here in Rwanda for a year today.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary. A year today.
Yeah.
Zach has been in Rwanda. And before that, where were you?
We were actually in West Africa. We were in Burkina Faso for just under 2 years.
Okay. And how long were you in Ghana?
Maybe about 6 months as we transitioned from Burkina to come here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've had a unique perspective on both sides because, as a lot of internationals think, especially Americans, Africa's Africa. But you know for sure now there's a big difference between
Of
West
course.
Africa and East Africa,
It's a
yeah?
world of difference,
So
for
you can
sure.
see both of those as well.
Yeah.
So we welcome your perspective today from the American, the West African, and the East African perspective.
Definitely, yeah.
So, Mr. Makombe, so you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Teo Makombe. I'm also a missionary with World Partners. I've been on a mission since 2005. That makes it 15 years. And first with YWAM, is with a mission, and then different kind of organization today with World Partners. I am married. I have a wife and 4 kids. So life is good on
Okay.
mission.
So, what kind of international perspective are you bringing to us today?
Well, having lived in Africa most of my life, then in Europe, in US, I think I've met most people around the world. So I can say when you live in the US, you live everywhere because the whole world comes to you. But also living in Africa, being born and raised in Africa, it gives me so much experience to talk about, Africa freely. Yeah.
And you've had similar experience as Prince, in that you've been able to receive many internationals. So, you've worked with people from China, Netherlands, France. I mean, how many different students have you led from how many different countries?
Well, I'll probably guess over 50 countries. Yeah. Because that will be like you don't remember who you met yesterday. When you're on mission field, basically people get to come. People love Rwanda. So many countries all over the world wants to come and see. Some people think there is a war, so they come ready to die. Then they come, they find it's peaceful, they tell others to come and see. So we received a lot of countries in this nation to see different cultures, different perspective, different kind of views. So we had to deal with all of them until we realize, there is just probably one culture in Christ. That's why we are trying to learn, teach, to stay, with one culture in Christ, because there is one. It exists in Christ alone. Otherwise, we can always bring the cultures from our countries and fight with it. Like, this is the only way because I was taught this way. Kind of seems right, where you were born and raised, it seems right. Until the other culture begins to challenge you, maybe you start to think, maybe this is not completely true. So it helped me learn, actually built something in me that I need to give up my past and think maybe global Christianity is not about Rwandan culture. So I think that's what helps to be a global Christian, not just a local guy, thinking this is my box is as big as God's kingdom.
Now, I understand that you are a regional strategy coordinator for World Partners.
That's right.
So your ministry expands outside of Rwanda. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, World Partners have regional strategic coordinators like me all over the world, around 130 countries now. So for me, I have 3 countries or 4. Basically, we are not limited. Wherever God leads, we go. But for now, we have Rwanda, Burundi, and Congo. Just try to establish the mindset of how it is to be a Christian, but mostly a disciple of Christ. Not just this common term like I am a Christian. Most people don't understand what that is. They just think you found a church, you became a Christian. It's a movement mostly today that looks like empty movement because the majority of people who are in the Christianity don't know what Christianity stands for. So we're trying to go over these countries, pick up somebody from wherever they are, whatever background, teach them about Christ, train them to live like a Christ, and see what happens without any other religious culture. So whenever you travel from Rwanda to Burundi, it's so much fun, first of all, because you get to travel.
So you're talking about the border crossings.
Yeah, I'm not talking about killing thing, but it's fun to see life, coming to the people who thought they were alive, but then across the coming in their lives they become really alive. So, but when you cross the borders to Congo, then you got into different world, different culture, different languages. Then you start all over, you start to learn again. It might take longer than it takes to make disciples in Burundi.
But even within Congo, there's a very different culture in East Congo and West Congo, is there not? Between
Yes.
Kinshasa and Goma, it's very different, yes?
Whenever I go to Kinshasa, I try to speak Swahili, nobody understands it. They all speak Lingala. So if I go to Goma or Bukavu, they speak Swahili, but they also have their culture is close to Rwandan culture. Then we can understand each other somehow because of a culture. But if you go to Kinshasa, it's a different world. You have to learn first before you teach.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you. Welcome, gentlemen. Very honored to have you here today. think we're going to jump right into the questions. First question I think is for you, Prince. I would like to hear from you. When you look at Rwanda today, like we've said, you are familiar with several different cultures. You know, Ugandan culture, international culture, even some Burundian culture. If you look at Rwanda uniquely, what idols, what modern day idols do you see that people are serving in Rwanda today, whether they be unique to Rwanda or unique to this region?
Thank you. First of all, Rwanda, like any country in the world today, um, is connected. Okay, and so we have our traditional cultures, and we also have, an international culture. And so we share most of the things with the world today. So we would say modern day idols. We have, if I refer back to idols, an idol, I would say, is something that takes, much place or the place for God. And if I put my own interests and my own desires in the place of God, then whatever I put ahead ends up becoming an idol.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So modern day idols, we have lots of things. We have technology,
Okay.
which is good. But then if I talk about the young people today, it's consumed.
Distraction.
Yes, it's taken much of their time.
Yeah.
It's taken, too much of their time, that they have little time left to seek God and hear from Him. And we share that with the whole world today. Yeah. So we have some of these things. The other thing is about the culture. Culture is good, but then if we are so taken up by our dear traditional cultures, this is who we are, our identity. My identity, I'm Rwandan. Yes, I'm proud of being Rwandan, right? Yeah, someone else is also proud of being American.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know what's been going around for this couple of months. And somehow our identity may take over the value or, the place of God. So just briefly, we will get into that.
So
more
a
as
national identity
Yes.
comes before a Christian identity.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I have seen that in Rwanda. A lot of people who visit America say one of the things they're surprised about is the American flags everywhere. It's common for a normal person to have an American flag in your front yard. We fly the flag everywhere, and that's a sign of our patriotism. But I see it in Rwanda differently. Everyone knows if you're Rwandan, you don't have to fly a flag, you just act Rwandan, and people know you're Rwandan. Because Rwandans don't act like Congolese, like Ugandan and Burundian, because they are Rwandan. Yes? So is that what you're relating to?
Yes.
As far as you have to carry yourself as a Rwandan?
Rwandan.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
If we talk about our traditional dance, we have, those things that make us, true Rwandans. Yeah.
True Rwandan. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.